Welcome back to episode 4. So it's been a while. It's been 2 weeks since I've recorded one, and I'm very excited to be back. It feels good to be in front and talking to you guys about stuff that I think will be relevant and it will help improve as managers. I'm hoping now that the people who are watching this now are getting something out of it. I've struggled a little bit, which is not no surprise, but I didn't realise that I suffered with not being able to handle compliments. So I've been getting some great feedback and really surprising feedback to me, but I realised I didn't believe in the feedback. I felt like people were saying it for saying its sake. So I then started to re-listen to the podcast myself. And again, there's that inner cringe of hearing your voice, looking at yourself. And weirdly enough, once I actually took the video off and just listened to the audio, I actually felt it was good. I was really quite impressed with it. I felt like my voice wasn't as annoying as I thought it was. I thought I'd come across well. So I started believing in myself. So hopefully now we're going to start seeing a better presentation on how we do things, because I'm believing in myself more. So I've pushed myself out there. It's been challenging and it's been horrible. It's been very challenging, horrific, to throw everything out to the world to go, right, judge me. And the judging has been positive and I'm accepting the judging now. So that's enough about me. So quick rundown, podcast 1 was all about me, ironically enough. And that was just looking at who I am, what I am, and why I feel like I have enough experience to be talking to you guys and helping you develop as managers, noting that this is also helping me. Being a director of a new business, I'm now introducing new things that we're learning and discussing with each other and introducing them into my company. So selfishly, it's not all about you, it's also about me as well. So that's been really good. Obviously explained about the mistakes that I've made, the heart attack, all of that kind of thing. We then went on to episode 2. Episode 2 was all about understanding why we need to be authentic. And really what I mean by that is that you need to be able to truthfully answer the questions of who you are. And that's why I put the 38 questions together. And that is to establish your strengths and your weaknesses. And if you understand what your strengths are, start pushing your strengths. Let people know what your strengths are, because that may be what you're naturally good at. And it's really important to push what you're naturally good at, because then you will be amazing at that. Your weaknesses, good to know, and you do need to work on them to a degree, but some people got weaknesses. You know, what's the point in pushing that elephant up a hill where it doesn't want to go? So be aware of your weaknesses, improve them to a certain level, but let people know of your strengths. Let your managers know what your strengths are. Let people below you know where they can come to you, and be proud of the fact that you've got a strength in that element. So that was episode 2. Episode 3, brilliant, with Danny Craig. So that was reflecting on the 38 questions and how his journey went. And his feedback was excellent. He was surprised at some of the answers that he gave up. I've also had good feedback from other people saying the same. It was surprising, I think, the overall description, because I think the 38 questions just dive in. So, episode 4, all about triggers. So, this is really important, because for you to develop as a manager, you need to understand and be curious of what emotions decide the outcome of a situation and why you get them emotions. So we're all led by our emotions. we must understand, and it is important to understand, that most of your triggers will come through some strange childhood trauma of some sort. It could be minute, it could be massive, it could be all of these problems that something as a child happened to you and it's just embedded in your brain and you're like, don't like that situation. This could stem from, so I think the best way to approach it, and I think this is what we'll do, is that basically is, first of all, you've got to understand what a trigger is. And a trigger is, as I say, is that it's something that's created an emotion in you. So that could be a situation, that could be a confrontation, or it could be environmental. So you could walk into a situation and you feel uncomfortable about the situation. So you could walk into a meeting underprepared, and that environment triggers you back to walking into a class at school or whatever that it is. And you then withdraw yourself. You're not yourself. It brings an emotion into you. The emotion can come out in several ways. So, for instance, you could get road rage. So the emotion is the anger. So someone cuts you up and you just kill someone. Or you could get withdrawn, like I say, you go into a meeting and just someone overtalks you, and then you just regress back into that childlike state. And that's generally what all the emotions end up doing to you, is it makes you go back into a child. What I've read recently and I really enjoyed, and I've cards on the table and been authentic. I've gone down being counselled. I dealt with obviously a lot of anxiety when I was growing up and just loads of things. And the counselling that I had previously just kept unearthing what the problems are, why they are, asking loads of questions. And what I found was that I was genuinely making up stories to fulfill what I think somebody wanted me to say. I read The Courage to Be Disliked. It was put forward to me. It's an Alfred Adler psychology. And basically what it means is that his take on it, and I think he's right, and after quite a few years of counselling, and I even trained as a mental health counsellor for a year. What this theory actually worked out to be brilliant for me is because it doesn't allow you to be a victim. So what I mean is that what we want to do is that Adler's theory on is that there's been a problem. You know there's been a problem, but that doesn't dictate the rest of your life. So what we should be doing is that we will notice that there's an emotion that's caused by a trigger. We know that there's something happened in the past, but we're not going to dive into that past. We don't really need to know. What we do need to know is that trigger creates that emotion. We need to move on from that. And let's look at the best way to move on. And for me, it was absolutely eye-opening. I'm thinking, Christ, why am I digging up the past, making up all this stuff where, okay, I will, if someone questions my integrity, it causes me anger. And why, I don't know, but it does. But really what happens is that emotion is disproportionate to the situation that I've been put in. And realistically, am I just getting emotional because someone's questioning me? And could they be right? So what I should be doing is going, right, okay, I'll write it down. So write down on a piece of paper, okay, so-and-so questioned, turned around and said, do I really know what I'm doing? And I felt really angry. And I didn't listen to actually what they said. So, all right, what did they say? They said that they questioned whether I really knew what I was doing. And what they were referring to is a project that I've been running, and I hadn't actually been fully understanding what the requirements are from the client. What he was actually said was, do you know what you're doing? I feel like you haven't got control of this. That caused an emotion because potentially they're right. And what I needed to do is actually take a step back, hear the emotion, go, that got me going. Why did that get me going? That got me going because probably they're right. Why are they right? Because maybe I haven't got control of that job. It's giving you a gift, isn't it? It's telling you that you've got something to work on, or something, there's some answer you're not listening to, and you're definitely not listening to the question that's been asked of you. So what I'm going to do is in the footnotes of this one, I'll put together a quick schedule, and literally just for 1 week or 2 weeks, depending on how many triggers you may have, do it until you start, you maybe get 2 or 3 triggers. So again, it could be like I used to get, if I was stressed out, my throat would start closing up, so I start losing my voice, and I go a bit croaky, and that's because I'm stressed. It's stressing me out. Why is it stressing me out? Well, because you don't like that environment. Well, okay. Well, let's think about this. Maybe if I don't like the environment, maybe I need to put myself in that environment more, get used to it. Become more robust and resilient. So it's all them kind of things. So what I suggest is that over the next 2 weeks, maybe just go through and just note these things and put them down. Now, what's key to this now is that you need support, and this is what this whole podcast is about, and what I'm about is giving people support that I never had. And it's really important to me is that I had a heart attack, I had a breakdown, I had all of this stuff because I didn't really at the time have anyone to turn to. I didn't feel like it. So I built my network, and it's my brother, Danny Craig, you met the other day. It's my co-directors. I'll turn to them. I've got a network now that I've created, but for a long time I didn't have that. So what I want to do for you guys is be your support. And this is what this is. I am your support manager. I'm here for you to help you become better as a manager. So use me. As the podcast is growing, we don't really have, I'm not busy with it. I've got other things going on, obviously, but I have time. So why not fill this out and then email it to me and we can discuss it. And what I'm planning on doing is doing a Teams conversation soon. Probably going to do it once a month and invite, I don't know, maybe 5 people at a time. Jump on it, open Teams. I don't need any details about who you are, what the company is you work for, nothing personal. But we become the support network for you. So we'll talk about things, we'll discuss things, we'll talk about what issues we've had that week, what you're struggling with. Is the company listening to you? How to get that company to listen to you more? How do you put your hand up more and go, right, I can do this? More belief in yourself. This is what we're going to become. So email over your answers. Tell me if you want to be part of this first Teams meeting. I'm not going to put it out to the world. It's just going to be us and me and 4 other people, and we're just going to go through our problems. Find your support network as well. Dive into thinking, who can help me out? Who can I actually be honest to, and who will actually listen to me? Because that person is going to be worth 1,000. It's generally not your other half. They don't really listen much to actually your work stuff. It's not going to be family members particularly. I mean, my brother's slightly different. Because again, they look at it from a personal side. You need someone to be looking at it from a holistic, looking at you rather than you in the past. Look at the situation that you're in and what you're presenting, and say to them, I'm struggling with this emotion when I go into this environment. What do you suggest? The other one, which I would do if I didn't have anybody at all, is put that spreadsheet into ChatGPT and just ask it, how can I improve my emotional reactions to certain triggers? Help me. And ChatGPT will do all the legwork for you. It's not as good as speaking one-to-one, and obviously it's AI, but it's there for you. Start feeling that you need support. You are not alone anymore. And I truly mean that. I really do. I feel like I can do great if you guys tell me what you really need and give me the right feedback. So that's it. That's where we're at the moment. This is the Always Learning podcast. Better management equals better lives, and I think that's true. I'm really enjoying this journey, and I'm hopefully we start building this bigger and bigger, start building more of a community, and we all can help each other. That's really what I want to be. I really almost want to take a step back and just let the community help each other. That would be perfect. And it's all about support. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll speak to you guys real soon. Take it easy.